Welcome to the Nudity Hour. I'm Blake Mitchell. And I'm Davey Wavy. Joining us today is Sean Cole.
I'm not doing that.
Is that your balls right there? Oh, yeah. Hey guys, I am Davey Wavy, and the truth is I get clocked a lot about filming often with porn stars, but I actually think that porn stars are really amazing teachers, and that is why I'm joined by Blake Mitchell. I think I just flashed my dick. And Sean Ford. Hey!
What's up?
One of the things that I really love about you guys is how comfortable you are being naked. I mean, you guys are really like at home being naked right now.
sure.
And I'm not. So nudity, I mean, it's a really difficult thing for a lot of people, and so we're going to talk about that today. But first, I just want to do a little disclaimer, which I think a lot of people at home are probably like, well, it's easy for them to be naked because, like, look how they look. But I also think people who do what you do are also often some of the most criticized about, like, your appearances.
It can be hard to get naked at the pool party because of that.
So I think just because someone looks a certain way, like, it doesn't mean that they don't struggle with self-esteem or with issues. So I think everyone's journey is complicated. So without further ado, let's talk about nudity. Do you remember the first, like, literally the instance that you had to get naked on camera the first time?
I think mine was probably a little different than yours because I started on cam. So I was like, I had been on and been like talking to people and been like, hey, what's up? And they were like, take your clothes off. And I was like, oh gosh, I don't know. I was like so uncomfortable with it. And I think that's actually when I started associating money with getting naked because they tipped me a whole bunch of money to take my shirt off.
Do you remember that moment when you pulled down your underwear the first time?
I was like, what if they think my dick is like small or something? And
You're stupid.
I was like, what if?
Go watch another video. John, do you remember the first time?
Yeah, on camera. It was actually with him. And, I mean, it was no hesitation, really. Because, I mean...
I was kind of pulling your clothes off, too.
Right. Like, I had done that shit at, like, parties.
What kind of parties do y'all
Yeah.
go? Like,
Crazy.
seriously?
Head to Arkansas.
My party's like piggies in a blanket and like my 3-year-old niece. Like,
S'mores.
So you're obviously then like really comfortable being naked.
For sure.
What was the relationship like that you had with your body growing up? Was your family nudist?
They definitely weren't nudist, but there was no negativity placed on the human body.
There was
there is in a lot of families, I feel like.
There was no shame on nudity in my family either.
It just seems to me that there has to be something in your upbringing that like made you so comfortable, because like for me, like I grew up in a really kind of conservative Catholic family.
Rhode Island.
Any part of your body that brought you pleasure, like you could not show.
I mean, I feel like even like going to the club, I pushed the boundaries.
What do you wear to the club?
Towel.
I've worn just a towel before, and the towel actually fell off a few times.
A lot of what you guys are saying is really foreign, not just to me, but I think to people at home. And so I guess my question is, like, what advice would you have for someone?
I don't know, I think the place that most people are naked most of the time is the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So start in the bathroom and just go in the bathroom and get naked. Don't critique yourself, just objectively view yourself.
Right.
Like, this is me naked.
That's what it comes down to. Is it comes down to like acceptance, because people don't look at themselves enough. And I feel like if you look at your body enough, you come to accept it, and it's just a process, really.
Something that's worked for me is that if I like look at my body naked, I want to kind of engage in negative self-talk around the way it looks.
And critique, yeah.
And if I'm with someone else, I'll want to make like a joke about my body or the parts of my body that I don't like. The reality is that like words carry weight, and like those jokes actually like really aren't funny.
Right.
And if instead of focusing on the parts of your body that you don't like, you instead focus, for example, on like connecting with that other person, you're shifting away from like, oh, I don't like this, to I'm connecting with him or her.
I just think so many people are uncomfortable just even like walking around their own bedrooms naked, you know,
by themselves.
Like, it's also complicated, I think, because there's people who have histories with their bodies that have experienced sexual abuse or trauma. For a lot of people, I think it's like out of sight, out of mind. Like, if I keep it under layers of clothes, like I don't have to think about it. It's easy to say, just get naked and do it.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, there's a lot to work through. And so maybe it's like about baby steps. For some people, getting naked in the dark could even be a first step.
Sure.
And no one's seeing it.
Existing.
Yeah. I think what would be really interesting is if people in the comments down below kind of share where they're at. Also, speaking of nudity, you should definitely follow these guys on social media. There's no shortage of
no shortage whatsoever.
Especially for him.
Well, thank you guys for being here and for
Thanks for getting naked with us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. People probably don't recognize enough like the value in what you do, and how for people like me it's actually really inspiring to see that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
to inspire people. Hope I do.
Yeah.
Fighting the good fight.
Right.
One dick pic at a time. And thanks guys for watching, and as always, more to come.
Later, guys.